G'day guys, I'm Ragnar. Today we're going to talk about professions. Professions in WoW are like your in-game trade. You can craft things, make things, gather things to make yourself some money or make yourself items so you don't have to buy them with money. So the professions we have primary professions, which you can have 2 of per character, and there's 3 secondary professions, and you can have all 3 on every single character if you want to. I'll start by where you pick up these professions. So you go to any guard in a capital city, preferably Stormwind if you're Alliance or Orgrimmar if you're Horde. You talk to a guard and you'll see a list. You click on these to find your way around in the city. So we're looking for profession trainers. And here is the list of all the professions you can pick up. So for example, if I want to pick up fishing, I click on fishing, and he'll highlight that on the map for me with a little red flag like that. So all I need to do is travel down here and that will lead me to the fishing trainer. Alright, here's the fishing trainer. When you talk to trainers, you'll have the skill, and usually it costs a little bit of money to learn the skill. You click on the skill you want and click train. You'll notice that other levels of fishing will unlock. So if I want to go fishing in Outland or Northrend or these other zones, you need to be the required level and spend a bit more gold so you can fish in those continents. I recommend just train all of the zones if you plan to fish everywhere. Now if you press K key or open your spell book and click on the professions tab, you'll see your profession that you've learned here. You'll also get your abilities. For example, with fishing, I have to drag and drop this ability on my action bar. And this is the ability I will use to fish. To fish, you simply stand near the water and press the hook, and that will cast a lure into the pond. Pretty much anywhere where there's water, you can fish. However, some will require a high level of fishing. Once the lure bounces or splashes like that, you click on it. In this case, I got some driftwood, which is just a grey item, which isn't worth very much. And that's only because my fishing is really low. But notice my fishing skill has increased to 2. So every time I catch a fish, my fishing skill will level up. But the higher level you are, the more fishing you'll need to do to increase the level. And eventually you'll hit the max level of 300. Once you hit to level 50 or 75, you'll need to return to the fishing trainer and train more fishing so you can fish beyond level 75. And the same goes for most professions like cooking, herbalism, archaeology, etc. So what do you use fish for anyway? When you actually catch fish, that's used for cooking recipes. Sometimes it's used for other professions as well, like alchemy. So you can either use it to level those other professions, like cooking, or you can sell it on the auction house. The auction house is basically where you can trade everything on a market. Everything listed on the auction house is something that a player has put up for sale. All these things have been gathered by many different players around the world, and they've put it up, and this is what the price they're asking for. Same with you. If you gather things in the world, you can click on the sell tab. You can drag and drop an item you collected. It'll automatically scan the auction house for you and put it up at the lowest price for that item. That way it's got a better chance of selling. Now I'll put up some cloth, it sells for 25 silver. So I can click create auction, and if I can sell this at 25 per item in a stack of 20, I will get profit of 5 gold. There we go. There's my item. So if someone buys that now, I will receive 5 gold in my mailbox 1 hour after the sale. If it doesn't sell, the item will eventually return in my mailbox after 24 hours. You can set how long you want the item to be on the auction house just here. The longer you put it up, the more it costs to leave it up there. Usually the price isn't that different, but sometimes 24 hours is long enough anyway. Now let's talk about gathering professions. So gathering professions is literally you go out into the world and gather items. Herbalism is a gathering profession. This allows you to gather herbs. Herbs are used for professions like alchemy and inscription. Alchemy turns the herbs into potions, and inscription turns herbs into glyphs and other various items. You've also got mining. Mining, you go out and gather ore. You can also smelt the ore with mining. Mining will level professions like jewel crafting, blacksmithing, and engineering. Mining is a great profession to have. You can also just get mining and herbalism as your two main professions and just become a gatherer. Literally go out, gather all the herbs and minerals that you can find, and sell them on the auction house and make some easy gold. You don't have to have a crafting profession to make gold if you prefer to go out and gather things. The other gathering profession is also skinning. Skinning is when you skin beasts after you killed them. Skinning is used to level up leatherworking. Leatherworkers can make gear for leather wearers and mail wearers. You've also got tailoring. Tailoring makes gear for cloth wearers, and they use cloth that you gather from corpses and create cloth gear. Blacksmithing is used to make plate gear and heavy armor, as well as weapons. You've also got enchanting. Tailoring and enchanting are two professions that go well together, as all the cloth you can craft into gear, and then you can disenchant it with enchanting to get enchanting materials. Enchanting, you can enchant gear to make gear have better stats. Let's say you picked up herbalism. So herbalism is a skill that just sits here. You don't need any special items for it, you just need the skill. And you just got to make sure you go back to the trainer and level it up every 50 points of leveling. Alchemy is one of the best professions to go with herbalism, as you can make potions. And because potions are a consumable item, there's always a demand for potions. So these two professions are really good if you want to make gold. And also a great way to save yourself money if you like to use potions for yourself. Once you've gathered herbalism as a profession, you've got to make sure you click your magnifying glass up here and make sure that Find Herbs is checked. This will highlight herbs on your minimap as you stumble near them. This will make it easier for you to find and locate herbs. There's a herb here. There's a second herb. When you see a yellow dot on the map, go over towards it and you'll see a flower. You simply right click on it and it will gather the herb and it will end up in your bag. With alchemy, you can then turn herbs into potions. For example, with 8 of these herbs and 8 of those herbs and some crystal vials which you can buy next to the alchemy trainer, you hit create. To open this window, you simply click the alchemy button in your spellbook. You can even drop this on your action bar. And that way you can easily open and close it on the fly. On this character, I haven't trained my primary professions yet. So for my first primary profession, I'll probably get mining. And for my second one, to go with mining, you'll probably want blacksmithing or jewel crafting or engineering, or a second gathering profession like herbalism or skinning, if you just want to gather things and make gold. But in this example, I'll get mining and blacksmithing. We'll go to the mining trainer, click on mining, click train. It'll give you a warning saying that this will be one of your primary professions and you'll only be able to learn one more after this. If you made a mistake and decide you don't want that profession anymore, you can unlearn the profession by clicking the little red symbol. This will delete the profession, and then you can pick up another 2 professions if you wish. But just remember, if you unlearn something, all the progress will be lost. So only unlearn something if you haven't made much progress into it. If you've made a huge amount of progress into it, maybe have a think about it. It's probably worth hanging on to. So when I train mining, you'll see I have mining skills. When I click on that, I can smelt copper ore. So copper ore is one of the things I'll go out and gather as a miner. And I can smelt that into a copper bar. And copper bars are what are used in professions like blacksmithing and engineering. Now to gather minerals, you'll need a mining pick. So if you look near the mining trainer, there'll be a mining supplies vendor, like right here. And the first thing they'll sell is a mining pick. They also sell jeweler's kits, which you'll need as a jewel crafter. And there'll also be other various things. For example, a skinner will need a skinning knife, a blacksmith will need a hammer. So just be aware of these things when you pick up the profession. Make sure you got the items you need. With the mining pick, you just keep it in your bag and it'll automatically allow you to mine. Now that I've got my first profession, I'll go and get my second profession. That way I won't have to come back here as often to learn it again. For blacksmithing, you just talk to a guard if you're not sure where they are. But if you do, just go to the blacksmithing trainer, choose blacksmithing, click train, click accept when it gives you the profession limit warning, and make sure you train everything that it allows you to craft. Some things you won't be able to train until you're a higher level. Now if you press your K key, drag and drop your blacksmithing and your smelting skills onto your action bar so you can easily open and close windows. So if we open blacksmithing, here's all the things that we can craft from scratch. And you can see here it requires 4 copper bars. So with our mining, we'll go out and find some copper, then we'll go and smelt it into copper bars, and then we can use it to craft this chest. And when we craft things, it will level up our blacksmithing, allowing us to learn even more things to craft. Notice it says it requires an anvil and a blacksmith hammer. So for an anvil, you just make sure you're near an anvil. They're usually in main towns near blacksmith trainers. For the hammer, you buy that from the blacksmithing supplies vendor. They'll usually sell mining picks as well if you forgot to pick one up at the mining trainer. They're pretty cheap, you just buy one and just sits in your bag and that's it. As long as you have it in your bag, that's good enough. Then you just need the anvil. With smelting, you'll also need to be next to a forge. This is what a forge looks like. They're usually next to blacksmith trainers and mining trainers as well, in most towns. Alrighty, let's go out and find some copper and then we'll come back and craft it into some gear. Copper is typically found in low level zones, so zones that say 1 to 60 is usually where you'll find copper nodes. They're usually on hills, mountains, and in caves. Remember to also tick minerals on your magnifying glass. It's called fine minerals. Tick that, and just like herbs, they'll highlight as little yellow C symbols on your minimap. You just fly around or run around until you see one. Here we've got one appear just up here, so we're gonna fly down here and investigate. And here it is. This is what they look like. A little mound just like this. And when you hover over it, it'll tell you what kind of mineral it is. Here it says copper vein. Go up to it, right click on it, and you'll automatically use your mining pick in your bag to get it. Now we've got copper ore. You also get rough stone, which are used in some blacksmithing recipes as well. So with this ore, we can now smelt it. So if we go back to a forge, we should be able to smelt the copper. We can't smelt it here as we don't have a forge here. Now that we've got 4 copper ores, we've got all we need to make 4 bars, which is all we need to make a piece of gear with blacksmithing. So I'm going to head my way back to a forge and we'll start crafting. Alright, we're back. Got our forge, we've got our anvils. Let's open up our smelting window. And there we are, we can create 4 bars. So you can either hit create, or hit the number you want to create, or hit create all. So 4 is all we need, we'll just hit create all. And as you can see, it's crafting and also leveling our mining skill up at the same time. You can level your mining skill by mining, as well as smelting. Now that we've got the bars, let's open blacksmithing and click on our copper vest, and look at that, we've got all we need to craft the copper vest. We've got our anvil, blacksmithing hammer, copper bars, hit create. Boom. And your copper vest will be in your bags. Because it's only level 1 blacksmithing, it's really low quality gear, but this is how you level your blacksmithing up. Remember those rough stones we got from the mine as well? We can use those to sharpen our weapons. So when we create these, it will sharpen our bladed weapon, increasing our damage by 1 for 1 hour. Again, they're not that great usefulness wise, but they are great for leveling up our blacksmithing, because you will get a lot of rough stone just by mining naturally. Now, we've increased our blacksmithing skill to 10 already, and our mining skill is 6. So this is basically how you level up your professions. And once you level them up a bit, go see the trainers and you'll probably find more recipes will unlock as you level up. You can filter them by clicking this, and just have available checked, and that way only the ones you can learn will be listed. Otherwise you can leave them both checked and you can see all the things that you can work towards. If it says something like Cataclysm Blacksmithing or a specific expansion, that means you'll be able to unlock that once you're at the required level to craft in that expansion zone. That's pretty much all for the profession guide today, guys, so I'm hoping this helped you out. I didn't cover all the professions as that would make this video go extremely long, but I did cover some of the basics, and that's pretty much the same for all the other professions. You get a gathering profession, you gather things, and then you use those things to craft more things, and with that result you can either sell it to a vendor or on the auction house to make some gold. A lot of players will buy raw materials like your copper ore or copper bars, so if you prefer to just sell the raw materials you gather, you can do that as well, and sometimes that can be even more profitable than just crafting things. You can also be a crafter and just have two crafting professions. Buy all your materials on the auction house, craft them, and then sell them for a profit. So it's up to you on how you do it. The world's your oyster. I hope you have a lot of fun with crafting, and I hope you make a lot of gold. If there's any questions you have, leave a comment below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.